If you had to pick one musical meme that's the biggest musical meme of all time, just one, there's a lot of memes you can think of, but this particular one, I think everyone would agree that this is the most important and funniest meme ever. And it's from SNL, April 8th, 2000. How many of you remember this skit? If you didn't see an image there, I had a 3-second GIF from the Cowbell skit from SNL, and NBC made me take it out because they blocked the video. Now, I actually want to talk more about the song that's behind this meme than the actual meme itself. We know that video is hilarious, and it was immortalized by them. It was just a brilliant idea, whoever came up with it, to take that cowbell, which is actually not that prominent of a part of the song, and focus on how funny it is that there's a cowbell. Now, cowbells were in many songs during that time period. It's not like Don't Fear the Reaper was the only song that used cowbells. Led Zeppelin used cowbells. Everybody used cowbells. It was a common thing to do. But for some reason, they found comedy in this and really exploited it. And of course, Will Ferrell is a genius, where his shirt is coming up and you can see his stomach. I mean, it is absolutely hilarious. This particular song, Don't Fear the Reaper, is off the record called Agents of Fortune, which came out in 1976. It was right after I started playing guitar. I always talk about these things that happened in the mid-70s. This guitar riff was one of the first ones that I had learned, really, because it's off the chords A minor, G, and F. Now, what's interesting about the riff is that when I first learned it, it's not even a full A minor chord. He's playing like an A power chord, then he goes to the open G, which leads you into the G major. Then he goes to this F6 chord, which really has a haunting sound, which I think really creates the whole mood of that. That's just a great, great guitar riff. 1, flat 7, flat 6, flat 7. So I wanted to make a what makes this song great about this, but I didn't want to make a normal what makes this song great. I actually wanted to talk to the person that wrote the song. So here is me and Buck Dharma, the singer, Don Roser, talking about how he came up with the song and what makes it a great song. Do you remember writing the song? Do you remember coming up with a riff?
Yeah, the riff just sort of came unbidden, you know. And I had just gotten a TAC 3340S, my first multi-track machine. That was one of the first songs I wrote on it. Probably the first completed song I wrote on it.
So you started out as a demo with, did you put down a click track, or did you just run the guitar part down? Did you do it in pieces? How did you do it?
No, it was, I think it was a metronome. It wasn't a click, yeah. But I actually did a track by playing drums on a cardboard box on the demo. I don't know anyone that doesn't love Don't Fear the Reaper. I mean, it is really a universally loved song. Why is that? I guess it just resonates with humanity. You know, it does. I mean, none of us get out of here alive, and I wrote it because I'd been diagnosed with a heart condition and was feeling particularly mortal. Turns out, you know, wasn't that big a deal for me. You know, medication controls it, but it's definitely on my mind. So I wrote a love song about transcendent love. You know, that's more powerful than this mortal present alive thing that we're all going through.
When you were writing the song, did the song come just instantly, or was it something that you worked on over the course of a couple months? Did you have a piece of it?
The first two lines just sort of came right out. All our times have come, here but now they're gone. And the germ of the story came out, and the arc of the story sort of came out, and then it took about 6 weeks to really flesh out the proper text and get the imagery and the words.
Was it something that you came in and played for the band and you said, hey, I have this idea, or is it something you guys worked on with the arrangement?
Well, since it was the first multi-track demo, I did the demo and I pretty much arranged it, as it is on the record.
And when you're playing a demo of a song, how do you feel? Is this kind of the trepidation that most people feel every time they play a new song for their band?
I mean, I thought it was pretty decent. I never anticipated that it would be a single. That was still in the days of AM radio, and it did cross over to AM, and it got as high as number 9 on Cashbox, number 10, 11 on Billboard. Yeah, I mean, I thought it was a strong piece, so, and it turned out to be so, yeah.
But the lasting nature of it, after 10 years, it was just as popular as ever. After 20 years, it was just as popular as ever.
Yeah, well, I'm astounded I'm still doing this today. Our 50th anniversary is next year. It's this year. 50 years of BOC. The first record came out in 1972. So yeah, I'm gratified. I'm gratified that it's had the sustain. Never could imagine it.
But when you think about it, the chances of writing a song that is kind of the definition of a classic rock hit, the chances of that are so small, and yet you did it.
True. And I think, the whole band wanted to make more of them, and we've had other songs that have been popular, but not quite the same as Don't Fear the Reaper.
So it starts out here with a couple guitars, another's added here. Then the bass, drums, vocals. Times have come. You hear that cowbell in there. And then the guitars go into this kind of figure. More of a muted tone. What's interesting about this is that in this first section, there's really no pre-chorus. It really goes kind of the chorus. You don't really hear the cowbell very much, right? So another feature of this song is all the different guitar solos that Don plays in here. Like this one that starts here. Beautiful tone. And then. Oh yeah. Beautiful. And then we have the interlude with those hi-hats. This is like a real proper long classic rock interlude. Now you can really hear the cowbell. But in reality, you don't hear the cowbell like Will Ferrell. This is what's genius about the cowbell skit, because it's actually kind of hidden back in the mix, but they figured out that it's hilarious. It really drives the tune, but it's so subtle, right? Second verse. And then you have those beautiful low harmonies with the organ. Now this is really like a pre-chorus here. Even though it's doing the muted guitar. And then that's the chorus there to me. This is really not a conventional song. Love it. The post-chorus. I love those little guitar interludes that play off the lead vocal. Right here. They're so mournful. Now, weird key change, right? The solo section or the bridge here is really odd because we're in A minor, G, F, G. Then we go to F minor. So that's essentially going from F minor to G7, which is really, really odd to come from A minor, G, F, and then. So the picking pattern is actually kind of weird. It's like a phrase of 5 and a phrase of 6. Check it out. Then the solo. And then, so remember I said that the guitar solo is over F minor to G7? Well, the guitar riff, so it's really outlining F minor, right? Then G7. G7 flat 9, which is why he goes to this Middle Eastern sounding scale. I asked Don about this.
Can you play me some of the solo? The song has been immortalized with the SNL skit, obviously. You know, the funny thing about this is that the cowbell is actually at a proper level. It's actually not very loud in the mix.
I've never talked to Will Ferrell, but I'm dying to ask him, you know, just how the genesis of that skit came into his mind, you know.
I mean, it is really the most, I think it's the greatest skit that they've ever done in SNL.
My initial reaction was relief that they didn't slag us, you know, because some of those SNL skits were pretty brutal on that as far as the artist goes. You know. No, I was quoting the skit. We actually don't have a lot of songs that had cowbell in them. We had a few, but not a lot.
Right. But the cowbell was a common part of rock music from really for years. I mean, that's been incorporated into drum kits and as part of a lot of famous songs.
Yeah, there should be a compilation record of just cowbell songs.
So after the solo fades on the feedback note, comes back in with a riff, snare build, cowbell. It's so moody, so emotional. Let's just listen to those vocals one more time here. Oh, harmony's beautiful. Then the chorus or pre-chorus. Beautiful. Love it. Then the solo. Through the ending and the fade, there's another guitar solo that I asked Don about.
Can you tell me who some of your guitar influences were?
Everybody that you would think of, American blues as passed through the English guys, Chuck Berry. Chuck Berry via Carl Wilson or whoever played on those records, that stuff, All the 60s pop music. The Ventures. My first band was a surf band, instrumental. Didn't know vocals. But, odd players, Jerry Garcia is a big influence. Robbie Krieger. A lot of the, first wave psychedelic bands and Birds, big influence.
That's all for now. I want to thank my guest, Buck Dharma, or Don Roser, for being part of this video. It was an honor to meet him, somebody that wrote one of the greatest, if not the greatest, classic rock song of all time. Thank you all for watching. That's all for now. Don't forget to subscribe, ring the bell, and leave a comment. Check out my new Quick Lessons Pro guitar course that just came out. Also, the Beato Book, if you want to learn about music theory, that's how you do it. And check out my Beato Ear Training course at beatoeartraining.com. And don't forget, if you want to support the channel even more, think about becoming a member of the Beato Club. Thanks so much for watching.